Looks like a big cutty. Let's get him to the net. Fish finder jig, folks. Stick with me. Woo!
Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Scott. This is Red Bandy Outdoors. If you're here last week, you saw me catch a real big rainbow trout on a dry fly with my spinning pole. Thanks for watching. That was a great, incredible fish. Well, we're at that same spot today. Basically right before we caught that rainbow trout on the dry fly, we caught this big cutthroat that you saw here there at the intro. I'm going to talk about how I got that fish, introduce you to my famous jig, or what at least I think it's famous. Some other jigs that I use, the ones you saw in the thumbnail, and a few of the techniques that I use to fish jigs and catch trout regularly on ultralight spinning tackle. So stick with us. We're going to walk through stuff. I got the GoPro set up here so you guys can get a close up on what I'm talking about. But I quickly want to move through the jigs that are in the thumbnail, the ones that I use. I'd like to do other videos more specifically in depth on each one of them because they're pretty special. I've kind of narrowed it down to 4 or 5 different jigs that I use. So the first one I'd like to go through is kind of more the specialty item. It's the Sluggo product out of Northern New York, I believe. I have this on the Northland Tackle Deep V jig head. This is an exceptional jig to use when fish are feeding on other newly hatched fry, smolt, stuff like that. The rivers I fish in, some of them have salmon in them, so there's a lot of smolts coming down the stream in the springtime, migrating to the ocean. The Sluggo does really good on those. You know, the white grub, we'll talk a lot about the white grub. I worked in Alaska, but the white grub, this one here is a Zoom Fat Albert. I like to fish that on the VMC or the Northland. This is the VMC Sleek jig head. But a white grub, can't beat a white grub. Want to have one in the box. If you know me and you fish with me anytime in the past, you've seen me use this. This is the Storm Real Eye Curly Tail. This is a very incredible lure jig. Very strong hook, saltwater, freshwater. Comes in 2 varieties, or it comes in lots of sizes and colors. 2 that I like the most are the 1/8 and the 1/16. This is the 1/16. You can see the 1/16 here. 1/8, black back, kind of a pearl, and then a pearl with the iridescent in the inside. And then to the star of the show, of course, what I call a fish finder jig. It's my hair jig. I'm not going to show too much of this because it's special and I'd like to have it be on the market. But yeah, this is the fish finder jig. There's a black one. This is a 1/16. This is on the Neon Moon Eye jig head from VMC Tackle. If you can see that there. This is the Neon Moon Eye head. It's my own hair jig. Fish it on the Neon Moon Eye jig head. This is 1/16. Pretty small hook. I also tie this on Northland's Deep V. We'll get into these jigs. Like I said, we'll do a more in-depth video on each one. But today, I really want to talk, and you know, this is the one I use a lot. The Neon Moon Eye 1/16. Of course, here's the Storm in the packaging. You can pick that up at Walmart. Sometimes I used to buy out the whole rack, and I love these things. You know, and then I showed you guys the Sleek, the bigger 1/8 VMC product. These are excellent for trout. I use the 1/8 and the 1/16. Of course, you can tell I have a whole box of them here. You know, we'll get into the fly tying part of things, but I just wanted to kind of give you a little intro onto the stuff that I use, the jig heads, the jigs, you know, kind of what they look like, how they perform, and how to fish them. So before I continue, I'm going to turn the GoPro off because I think we got what we needed there. Set that to the side. But before we continue, I'd like to stop and announce a little giveaway. I think all of you, if you've watched my video last week, got to the end, you saw a big fish. Hopefully you enjoyed that. But there was a brain fart moment in there, no doubt. There was a mistake, an edit issue. That obviously with YouTube, once you put these things up on the web, you can't take them down because everybody's liking, subscribing, following, commenting. Got a lot of interest off that video. So I left it up there. It's obvious, idiot mistake. So what I'm going to do here for a giveaway is the first person in this video, when I release it, that comments what the mistake is in the comments, is also a subscriber, will get one of my hair jigs, fish finder jig. And so what I want you to do is you comment in the video, the first person. It's pretty obvious, so everyone's going to figure it out. So the first person gets it. I'll announce the winner in the next video. Next week we'll have another fish. I've got a big rainbow or red band trout I think I'm going to show with one of the techniques I'm going to talk about. And so come back and check that out. We'll announce the winner at that point. Then I'll reach out, connect with the winner. We'll get you hooked up with the fish finder jig. You let me know how you do with it. Okay? So if you didn't get that, roll back and get it again. I'm not going to say it twice. But we're going to do a little giveaway. Comment in the video the mistake I made. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with me. Quickly before I get into the fish, you know, we showed you the jigs. Talked about the fact that, you know, we're going to do a little bit of in-depth into each one. You saw how small these really are. You know, these things are 1/16 ounce. It's a pill head shape with a very nice metallic eye on there. That really gives you some reflection in the water for sure. But also some of these have the glow, the UV glow. So what I do is I pinch down the little the keeper barb on there for the rubber plastics, and I tie on there my special blend of feather and fur and flash, and I make something that's pretty awesome. So why this thing is so good is because it's got that pill head that's very narrow, so when you see it in the current or it comes back in the current, it's slicing through it rather than kind of wobbling in it. You get that good fast drop because we have light feathers. We don't have a whole bunch of buoyant rubber on there. So this thing just hits the water and drops, okay? Much like the Euro nymph style of fishing, you know, you see a big bead on the fly, hits the bottom, it's down the zone, and it's there quick, right? So with this jig, and all these jigs, I've developed about 5 different ways that you'll see me fishing them if you watch my videos regularly. And so the one I want to get into today that I use a lot with this hair jig is what I call the Euro drift. And basically what the Euro drift is you'll see me casting straight across, sometimes a little bit up, get that as far out there or into the seam that I want it to be in. Sometimes it's close, sometimes it's mid, sometimes it's far. Today you're going to see me trying to get to the far in this video, just like I was last week. The fish are tucked against that bank over there in the shade, in kind of the nooks behind some of the brush that's sticking out. And so once I get it there, I don't want to reel it back. I don't want to jig it, work it back to me like you would if you were in a bass boat or something like that. I want to hit the seam and keep it there. So what you see me reeling is the slack. You know, the slack that's forming. It might come a little bit towards me, but then I just keep it in that seam or in that line that I think the fish is, and I keep working it another foot back, this way, that way, and try to find the fish. And so when you see me popping it on, I'm just kind of trying to figure out where I am with the bottom. You know, I want to be touching the bottom or close to it, but I don't want to be stuck on it. And so that's what you see, reel up a little slack. So you'll see me do this over and over again in this video. I don't know how much of it I'm going to play. There's a lot of cast up until I get this fish because I'm working around. So I'll try and show you that. You'll see me waiting, just like last week. Again, the water's really high. That's good. It sucks a lot of fish up. It makes them really active. They feel safe in the high water and the cold water, so they're real aggressive. So the Euro drift is out and across, slightly up and across, in, down to the zone, and just kind of keep it there. And just work these things and try to do like a Euro nymph fisherman does, where they really just want to get and lead it down in there, and you'll see as I keep going and going and going, I'm working harder and harder to get it to this fish. And eventually I hook one up. I go over the rocks like I did last week. This is the first time I'm going over the rocks, and then I get into a safe area to land it, and then I get some great pictures to show you guys and tell the story. So thanks for watching. We're going to cut right into the fish. There's going to be a few minutes of that, so stick with it. Look for the mistake last week. Get yourself a fish finder jig. It's the best trout lure out there for sure. Ask anybody who's used one, and come back again. This is Red Bandy Outdoors. Thanks for watching.
Oh, hey, look, a river. A trail to the river. Oh, looks like someone left some fishing poles down there. Interesting. Let's use them. Let's use them to catch a fish. All right, so over there on that bank, there's that diagonal tree coming down like that, and a rock, pointy prudential rock. Well, right above that rock, I watched one shark it. No, right above this diagonal tree, right in there, I watched one shark it. So we have a couple potential opportunities to hit that. We'll still leave the salmon fly rod there and get this done on the jig. Because that's what I really feel like we need to do. And I think that was Point Pappy right there. I think we just hit it. I think we just hit Point Pappy for the season. Let's keep the jig on. Let's keep working it. Point Pappy was reached. The day is complete. We're officially wet wading, our friend. Oh, there we go. Oh, he let go. Little guy. He let go. Right in that tree area. Right in that tree I need to get mine. Oh, there's the line. Oh, it's right up under that tree. There's a big rock there that didn't like me. Big guy out of there. Big cutty. Camera on. Big cutty we rolled out of there. This was the guy rising. Thought there was a snag. We gotta make it through here, Point Pappy, without wiping. Peeking on the ankle. We got it. That thing was up under the bank over there. I hope you guys got that. This is a nice fish. He doesn't want to come out of that current. This looks like a big cutty. Let's get him to the net. Fish finder jig, folks. Stick with me. Oh yeah. It could be a big rainbow. No, it's a big cutty. Woo! Okay. That fish has been hooked before. We see his hook scar. All right, folks, you get to see my goofy hat. How about that? We got ourselves pure strain West Slope cutthroat, it looks like. Doesn't have any rainbow markings. This fish is thick and healthy. As you can see, he's got that fish finder jig just pinned in his mouth. He is real strong and real healthy. Let me get him on buckled here. That fish finder jig just pinned in his mouth. Just pinned in his mouth. Hopefully you can see that. Beautiful fish on film. Okay, bud, back out to where you were. All right, high five, man.